All right, a little Rust-Oleum high temp primer and some gloss black, and we are going to start turning ugly parts into pretty parts. See, I've already done one to see how it was going to turn out. That's a brand new fan. Yep, there's 3 or 4 more horsepower already just there. We're going to do everything. We're going to go through all this trouble. We don't want it to be all ugly, so let's pretty it up, do what we can while we're waiting for, other paint to dry. We'll get to scrubbing and doing some things. A little degreaser, hot soapy water, get these cleaned up, and then we're going to prime them, and then we're going to paint them and see how they turn out. So, all right, let's get to it. We're continuing to make things pretty. Cylinder head number 1, I've already got it all primed up. Excuse me, primed up. And here, this is where the gasket will go. These are those ports. You can kind of see where it's smooth. Taped it up so we can paint, and we don't have to worry about getting any paint off in there. So it's already primed, high temp. Now we're going to go with the good old Chevy orange. Easy peasy. I'm not really worried about the spark plug holes. Those threads will get grinded out when the spark plugs go in. I've got some tape running around here so I don't paint up my springs and everything too bad. A little paint ain't gonna hurt anything, but every direction. I'm probably gonna do a little touch up once I put the engine back together. But I want to paint everything individually. I painted the oil pan already. I'm going to do these twice. 2 coats, I mean. Not a lot back here. That's going to be where the intake manifold goes, so I'm just going to catch that lip. As that front gets tacky, the exhaust side is what I mean when I say the front. Let's go ahead and hit it again. Yeah, real nice. All right, can't really tell much just because it's a big blob of orange, but it's looking real good. And I think while that's a little wet, I think I'm gonna go ahead and take that tape off of there. Let's see, do I need to leave it on for anything? I don't think so. That's pretty much as painted as I'm going to get it. 2 coats, and I'm going to leave it alone. So let's see. Let's get that tape off. Here I am. There goes me. There we go. What do you think? That looks pretty good. Okay. So once we get it all pretty, I'm gonna get this tape off and finish up the tops, get the rockers and yada yada after we set it back on the engine. So for now, we're gonna let that hang out. Oh, actually, you know what? I've just set these springs in. I haven't actually done the springs yet, so that's going to be in another video. You'll see in the spring video, you'll see this head is already orange. So, all right, I think we're good to go for now. I'm going to do the other head the exact same way. Well, now how about some engine paint? It's already primed up. Let's shoot some color on it. I left the gaskets, the old gasket, around where this timing plate goes, because that way if I get a little paint I can just kind of scrape it off. Alright, let's see what she says. Yep, that's orange. I'm not so much worried about the motor mount because I'm going to do it in black. I'll let that first coat kind of hang out for a little bit. This is what I'm using. I don't know if you can see that. Is there a glare on it? Maybe, maybe not. Very high temp, VHT, Chevy orange. All right. Yep, let that tack up for a minute and then we'll go again. All right, second coat is on. So I've draped some rags on top of my crank and caps and all of that. Oil pump right here where the oil filter goes. I wanted to paint it disassembled just so there weren't gaps and things like that. It's probably safer to paint it all put together and then you can just paint in all your gaps, but this is how I wanted to do it. So if you're gonna do it this way, protect those parts. Don't let paint get in where oil and lubrication goes. But that being said, get all in all your little crevices at every angle. We're gonna leave the mounts for now. Like I said, I'm gonna do those in black. And now you see the gasket, you know, is still there, right? Here's your water pump gasket. There's another water pump gasket, and then the gasket for the timing cover is still there. When I scrape all of that off, that old gaskets, I left them on purpose. When I scrape those off, we're gonna have a nice clean surface to work with. But here's the block, for the most part done. Didn't bother, you know, back here where transmission hooks up and all that, just kind of around that will be the top edge, right? Remember, this engine is upside down right now. So anyway, when we turn it over, you know, there might be a little bit on top, a little touch up, and then of course little nicks and whatnot from the actual process sorry about that message, the actual process of flipping the engine over. But that's all right. A little touch up here, a little touch up there. There it is. Primary block is painted. Look at what we got here. Look at all the pretty parts. Here we go. Fan. Got the paper and the tape off, looking good. Yeah, that's new. Don't be fooled. Everything else cleaned and painted. Water pump was working great. I'm gonna keep it. Might replace it. Maybe not. Doing this, you know, on a budget. We can't all just drop $1,500, $2,000 to rebuild an engine. So if you got something that works good, hang on to it. But anyway, here we go. Got everything cleaned up. So manifold, you might see a new manifold. I'm wondering if we might have a hole burnt in that. But for now, got it painted up. Looking good. Looking good. Oil pan. Sure. Heads. Beautiful. Engine. All right. Lot of beauty. Lot of beauty. All right. Cleaning and beautifying is, you know, I think we're about where we're going to get. So we're going to get to putting all this beauty back together and see if it actually works. I don't know. All right. Cool.